This is Jack Dennett, inviting you to Maple Leaf Hockey Talks. The star you're about to hear is Davy Keon, and knowing him as the great player he is today, it's hard to imagine his first time on skates in Rouen, Quebec.
The first time I played, I can remember going out with a hockey stick, and I stayed out for about an hour, and I think I must have fallen about 1,000 times in that 1 hour. But I kept going back every day and was able to stand up a little bit longer each time.
But all great players have to start somewhere, and it's usually with the basics, just learning to skate.
I moved to Noranda shortly after that, and there was 2 rinks within a block of where my parents lived, and in the winter when it snowed and the road was packed very hard, we used to skate to the rink, and we just played there after school and all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and any holidays we spent on the rink.
Sound familiar? Well, most great hockey stars started just as you did, playing on pickup teams with friends and then graduating into the organized leagues.
As I got older, I played in the Kiwanis League, and I played minor Bantam. Then I went and played midget hockey for 3 years, and I played 1 year juvenile. When I was 15, I went to the Hamilton, to their training camp, and I stayed there a week, and they told me that I would go. They were going to send me home for that year, and following that, they would have me back down the next year. But in the meantime, I went and played for a team that was non-sponsored because I felt that I might have a better chance of getting picked up. And during that year, our team became sponsored by Toronto Maple Leafs.
Davy didn't go home. Once in Leaf territory, he decided to stay as close to the big time as possible, and that led him to applying for a hockey scholarship.
I inquired if there was any possibility of getting a scholarship, and I remember that Mr. Davidson came up, and when we played our last playoff game in our league, he came up and spoke to me following the game, and about a month later, I got a letter from St. Michael's with an application to fill out. And I think it was about a couple of weeks after that saying that I'd been accepted.
The years at St. Michael's were among the most important in Davy's life. While at the college, he met the man who, more than anyone else, was to help him toward a hockey career.
I would say Father Bauer possibly has been the greatest single influence on my hockey career. Most of the boys who come from the north skate quite well. They can handle the puck quite well. But in the north, there's the defensive part of the game. 4 forwards is neglected. It's not really taught and are not emphasized. And consequently, I had a great deal of adjusting to do while I was playing junior. And I think that Father Bauer was the one who was able to get this point across to me and emphasize its importance enough so that I gave it some thought and realized that if I expected to go anywhere, I would have to learn to check.
During those early years, Davy was lucky enough to get more sound advice on hockey from a famous relative.
When I first came to Toronto, I was 16, and I went out and tried out with the Junior A team, and we were just in the middle of practices, and at that time my cousin, who was Todd Sloan, played for the Maple Leafs, and I remember he told me just to keep working as hard as I possibly could, and everything would turn out for the best. And I think possibly this has been a great deal to me, this advice, because I think it holds true with almost everything that you do. If you work as hard as you possibly can, well, then everything will just turn out for the best.
And things certainly did turn out for the best. Soon after he joined the Leafs, the club skated off with the Stanley Cup. But Davy recalls most vividly a real cliffhanger goal scored in a race for the National Hockey League Championship against the Montreal Canadiens.
If we won the game, we had cinched first place. With less than a minute to go, we were losing 3-2, and I can remember Punch pulled the goalie. I think it was about 30 seconds to go, and I can remember looking at the clock and saying, well, that hand moves pretty fast. I don't know if we're going to... And then suddenly the puck was in the Canadian zone.
Time is running out on the Maple Leafs. They're still trailing Montreal Canadiens 3-2. John Simmons is still out of the nets for an extra forward, and the face-off is going to be made in the Canadian zone again. Just 15 seconds left to play. They're all set for this all-important face-off. There it is. The puck is loose. Nevin passes into the corner on his wrong wing. J.C. Trombley claws him into the boards. Nevin recovers. He shoots the puck behind the Montreal net to the far corner. Keon darts in. He's cutting in front of Claude. He draws him out. He scores! The Leafs have tied the score with 8 seconds left to play. With a tie, the Leafs cannot be ousted from the top rung and the NHL championship.
I would have to say that this and the first Stanley Cup would have to be my greatest thrills.
A great moment in hockey. But fans like you and I can remember many, many other thrills Davy Keon has given us during his years with the Maple Leafs. When the chips are down and there's only seconds to go, Davy goes all out to come through with a clincher. He's without a doubt one of the most exciting players in hockey today.